In the previous video, I showed you how to gauge the existing demand for products selling on Amazon. But what about the competition? There are two ways to do this. The first is to figure out how many reviews there are for similar products selling on Amazon. Generally speaking, I look for products that have no more than 100 reviews on them. Now, this isn't to say that you should totally ignore any products that have more reviews than that, but usually once a product gets 100 reviews, it gets quite sticky at the top of the search results page, and it can be difficult to beat it if you launch a product in that niche. Another way that you can gauge the level of competition is by looking at the number of sellers on a given listing or across a given niche. Now, there's no hard and fast rule about how many sellers is acceptable for entering a given niche, since that's something that only you can determine. But if there are clearly dozens of different sellers selling similar products in a niche, that's one I would probably avoid. You might try to find a niche where there's no more than 20 sellers selling across all the products in that niche. Let's look at two examples of how to do this using a tool like Jungle Scout. Okay, so I'm here on an Amazon results page. I searched for insulated dog water bowl. I have Jungle Scout's browser extension installed in my Chrome browser. So one of the ways I mentioned that you can gauge level of demand is by looking at the number of reviews on these products. Now, Amazon itself does actually make the number of reviews for each listing pretty easily visible here. But if you use the extension with Jungle Scout, you can actually instantly get the average number of ratings spread across all of these products on the first page of search results. So this category of insulated dog bowls already looks really competitive because the average number of rankings spread across these products is about 1,400. When I'm using this extension, I like to come over to the ratings column, which shows me the number for each listing. And my usual rule of thumb is in these top 10 search results, I want to see no more than 1,000 total. And I'd like that to be spread across all 10 of them pretty evenly so that each one of them has no more than about 100 reviews. As you can see here, a couple of them already have 200 or more reviews, and then several of them have thousands of reviews. So it would be quite difficult to launch a product in this niche and displace the people already at the top of the list. Now, the other way I said you could gauge the level of competition in a given niche is to look at the number of sellers on a specific listing as well as across a niche itself. So here I've done a quite specific search for this product, wrought iron garden trellis, not just garden trellis because there's a lot of different kinds, but a wrought iron garden trellis. And the very first thing I noticed is that most of these listings are actually sold by the same company called H. Potter. So although it looks like there's a lot of products on here, I did notice that this one right here, which is an organic result, is the exact same ASIN and listing as this first result, which is a sponsored ad. So already this is giving me a clue that this particular niche might not be so crowded when I consider that Amazon is kind of padding out the search results page by repeating listings. And even though there are a lot of different specific garden trellises here, they are mostly made by that one company. So that could represent an opportunity for me to come in and launch my own catalog of wrought iron garden trellises. Now, you can also open Jungle Scout's extension again and then scroll over to the sellers column and see how many sellers are on a given listing. So for a couple of these, it looks like there are 5 sellers, maybe 3 sellers. That means that for this product, there are multiple people sharing this one listing, competing for that buy box, offering different selling prices. But for the most part, these garden trellises appear that most of the listings have only one seller on them, and I believe they are mostly that H. Potter brand. So this could represent a less crowded niche for me to get into. Now, of course, I would need to consider other things like how much I could source these products for, what selling price I could offer them for, etc. But that is how I would gauge level of competition looking at the number of sellers in a niche. So that's how you can quickly determine how much competition is out there before deciding to invest in a lot of inventory. If you found value in this video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button below and start looking for your next product with Jungle Scout today by clicking the link in the description. And if you want to watch my in-depth tutorial about how to use all of their tools to find a product to sell, click here. Thanks for watching. You can do this.